I was talking with my uncle last night, and we got on the subject of those people who consistently go to prison. I'm wondering why that is. Why is it that some people really appear to have no problem in repeatedly going to jail, going to prison, doing years? Those who get out of prison and days later, weeks later, do something to go right back. And I start thinking and relating prison to those who come from dire situations, those who come from the hood, those who come from an existence in which in which what is there in which their life consists of unhappiness, pain, suffering, consists of not really being able to do what it is they may want to do. What is it that somebody really wants to do who goes to prison consistently? Is it really ultimately that they just want to go to prison? Those who consistently breaking law, we know there are various reasons behind why people break laws, various laws. Some are monetary, some are psychological, some are environmental. It's just so many reasons. But as I start thinking about it, really, we're talking about two environments that are really ultimately the same. We have prison life and we have their life outside of prison. Somebody who lives in the hood, if you will, in the ghettos, in these environments in which there's a mass amount of hopelessness, of the pain and suffering, of the downtrodden. This same mentality is within the prisons also, yes? What is it that a prisoner, what is it that prisoner doesn't have, that person that's within this community doesn't have also? Did I say that right? Person and prisoner, they know they're going to have food, they have shelter, they have clothing. A person that's on the streets in the hood, they may not know exactly where they're getting those things from, and they may have them, but the quality of them may be low. They may live in a house that uh, is maybe without water, maybe without electricity, maybe maybe holes in walls, the windows are broken. Not sure where they're gonna get the meal from. Someone who is just surviving on the streets, no job, or just a job at minimum wage. Minimum wage, you're still surviving. Um, Clothing isn't a you don't have a vast amount of clothing. Uh, in the hood, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be on a block with your friends, with your boys. In prison, you're gonna be in a yard with your friends, with your boys. In prison, you know there's a chance you may get in a fight, you may get beat up, you may get stabbed, shanked, you may get killed. In the hood, there's a chance you may get in a fight, you may get stabbed, you may get shot, you may get killed. In the hood, you have access to drugs. In prison, you have access to drugs. But in prison, it's actually more of a controlled environment, which you know exactly what it is you have. You have You have shrunken your community. Your city becomes closed in. You know exactly who your enemies are and who your friends are, as much as you know your friends are, because you never know what may happen with those who you call your friends. When you're out in society, you know who your friends are, as much as you know who your friends are. You know who some of your enemies are, but there's a greater amount of people in society, so you never know who your enemy may be. There's a greater pool to pull from of who may do something to you. Whereas in prison, there's a finite number. In society, in essence, there's a finite number, but it's a greater finite number than in a closed system of prison. So you aren't really missing anything. You're missing some freedoms of being told when and where you can do things, but you're missing some freedoms in here in society too. Society, with the laws, rules, and regulations of government, there is a taking away of freedom. They say it is for your own benefit and welfare, but it's the same in prison. It's just more confined. So there's no real true difference. One can really say the only real difference is when we come to the sexual aspect of being able to freely engage with sex with female. But if we take away the gender aspect, and if we deal with just the fact of sex itself and pleasure itself, well, just as you have out here in society, you have in prison. So one may be able to say there is some comfort in living a prison life. And that may be why people consistently go.